Today you become a 1930s Shanghai Paramount ballroom singer. At 14, my uncle sold me into the Paramount, promising to redeem me in a year. 10 years later, on a Hong Kong pier, I saw the price he had written on the back of my photograph. I was 6, living in a leaky wooden hut in a small Jiangsu town. My father hauled sacks at the dock. My mother washed other people's qipao at the river. My uncle visited often in his western suit and bowler hat, bringing glass-wrapped candies from Shanghai. I hid the wrappers under my pillow, unable to throw them away. He told me Shanghai had gramophones that sang, trams that walked on water, lights brighter than any temple fair. I leaned on his knee and tucked every word into my heart. When I was 8, a plague reached our town. My mother fell first, then my father coughed blood. I knelt fanning them till dawn, but my fan brought no one back. On the day of their burial, my uncle arranged everything. Neighbors said I was lucky to have such a willing relative. He moved me into a small inn and fed me steamed buns every morning. I thought this was kinship. I thought hot buns were the shape of my future. The spring I turned 14, he put me on a train to Shanghai. He said nothing the whole ride, only clutching my small leather suitcase tight. Stepping off, I learned what Shanghai was. Neon stacked on neon, trams striking sparks from the rails, my soul stepping on clouds. He led me through a gilded door into the Paramount. He spoke with the madam for half an hour and came out with a roll of silver dollars. He knelt and patted my head, saying, "Be good. Uncle will fetch you in a year." That was the last time I believed him. When the door shut, the madam threw me a gray cotton uniform. "Scrub the floors 3 months," she said, "and you will scrub Shanghai's rules into your bones." I scrubbed not just floors but champagne glasses, ashtrays, lipstick prints on dance shoes. Each stain taught me what nighttime Shanghai meant. I slept in a second-floor storeroom. Jazz leaked up through the floorboards, and I hummed along softly until I rocked myself asleep. Half a year in, the old musician overheard me humming and pulled me to the piano to teach me Yalaxiang. He said it would be a waste to Shanghai if my voice never reached the stage. The winter I turned 16, I wore satin qipao and stepped onto the stage for the first time. The lights blinded me to the audience, and my heartbeat drowned out the band. Backstage, a man in gold-rimmed glasses handed me a name card promising to put me in films. I clutched the card and didn't sleep that night. 3 months later, I understood. The card was just another contract. The silver screen dream was only a stage with brighter lamps. At 18, I became the top billing of the Paramount. The papers called me the brightest lamp of nighttime Shanghai. No one mentioned what fueled the lamp. Patrons in my booth changed weekly. Officers, foreign trade compradors, newspaper editors. They sent flowers, diamonds, sentence after sentence of empty promise. At 20, a banker named Mr. Liu paid off my full-year contract. I moved out of the storeroom into a small townhouse on Avenue Joffre. He hired a piano teacher and an English teacher, saying he would take me to Paris one day. Before the mirror, I practiced French syllables, my lips shaped like an escape. But he had a wife who came to ring my bell on the 1st of each month. I learned to slip out the back to the corner cafe and not return until dusk. When I was 22, the dancer's contract law changed and the redemption price doubled. Mr. Liu said, "Take it slow." He would gather the sum. Take it slow are the 3 most dangerous words in Shanghai. I began saving every monthly allowance into the bottom of my camphorwood chest, counting silver dollar by silver dollar, until the spring of my 23rd year had passed. The summer I turned 23, a man named Mr. Shun booked my stage 3 nights running. He requested no song, only asked me to sing for him alone. He said he ran a paper in the foreign concession, writing what others dared not. I did not ask what those things were. I noticed he never drank, only ordered tea. On the 3rd night, he pressed a letter into my palm and asked, "If a different kind of guest ever comes to the Paramount, please deliver it to a bookshop in the French concession." At 24, Japanese boots crossed the Bund, and half the neon went dark overnight. The Paramount opened as usual, only the patrons now wore uniforms. The madam forced us to learn Japanese ballads. I sang their words on stage while my fingernails dug crescent blood marks into my palms. I delivered Mr. Shun's letters 7 times, each time in a different trench coat and a different lipstick, hiding myself as another Shanghai woman. The winter I turned 26, Mr. Shin stopped coming. The paper printed only one small line about a journalist falling from a building, no family to claim him. I folded that newspaper into a sandalwood box together with 7 half-written replies and never opened the box again. At 27, men began watching the lane. The doorman whispered a black sedan had parked at the entrance 3 nights running. Mr. Liu told me to disappear and put me on a steamer to Hong Kong. When the ship cleared the Wusong mouth, I heard the footsteps of my 14-year-old self walk back along the bund toward me and then walk away. At 28, I landed in Wan Chai. The flat Mr. Liu's friend arranged was reclaimed within a month. He had been implicated back in Shanghai. I queued at the pier for work, hauling crates, carrying water, mending sailors' socks. The calluses grew so thick my old diamond ring no longer fit. A Wan Chai tea house owner overheard me hum a line of Ye Shanghai and let me sing 3 old songs from 6 to 9 each evening. The audience was sparse, mostly elderly Cantonese men. They could not follow the lyrics, but they understood the accent of a woman exiled far from home. At 30, I coughed up blood for the first time. The doctor said it was the lung, an account left by years of cigarettes, alcohol, and damp air. I converted 2 years of tea house savings into gold bars through a fellow Shanghainese and hid them under my floor plank. The next day, he vanished on a ferry to Macau. Sickness plus an empty ledger, and I could no longer hold the tea house stage. The owner replaced me with a 20-year-old and gave me half a month's severance. The spring I turned 32, news of the new China reached Hong Kong. I burned the only note Mr. Liu had ever written me and decided to return to Shanghai. The Shanghai I returned to was another city. Most neon was dismantled. Avenue Joffre had a new name. I rented a 7-square-meter room at a Longtang entrance. A neighbor's little girl was humming off-key in the courtyard. I knocked on her door and said Auntie used to sing, if her mother allowed. I began teaching the lane's little girls to sing, accepting nothing. People asked why, and I said I was returning everything I had ever sung. At 34, the neighborhood committee delivered a parcel from Hong Kong, my late uncle's effects. The first thing inside was the photograph of me on stage at 16. On the back was a single line in his hand. 800 silver dollars, March 1936, at the Paramount Ballroom. I did not cry. I tucked photograph and inscription into the front page of the songbook I used with my students as the title page of their next generation's lessons. At 35, I retired from the stage and became the auntie who taught songs in the Longtang. If your dearest kin ever priced you too, share in the comments. Next episode, pick a Vietnam War-era Saigon bar woman or be 1950s Hong Kong cabaret star. Vote in the comments. Fictional dramatization for entertainment only.